Hey guys, welcome to Homework Help for Year 5, Term 3, Week 6. On page 7, we have find the total cost of 14 bags at $2.55 a bag and 11 tins at $9.80 a tin. Okay, so all we got to do is we want to find the total cost. We have to find the total cost of this one first and the cost of this one, all the tins and all the bags, and then we add together to find all of it, the total of everything. Okay. So we gotta do, there's 14 bags, each one is $2.55. So let's just do that. Let's just multiply without the decimal first. Okay, so what you're doing is you're taking 14, you're multiplying by 2.55. Okay, so let's see what we get. 4 times 5 is 20, 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 is 22, 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Match equals 0, and then 1 times all of that is just all of that. Add it together, you get 0. This will be a 7, this will be a 5 and a 3. So we'll multiply together, we get 3570. Now, because we made them into whole numbers, what happened was I moved the decimal place of this one 2 times to the right to make it into this number, right? So my answer must have decimal place moved back twice, 2 spaces to the left. So now it's going to be $35.70. Okay, that's that one. Now let's do the next one. We're going to do 11 times. So what I want to do is I want to change this one. We want whole number, and this one we want whole number. 9.8. We'd actually need a 0, to be honest. I need it. Actually, I'll put it there. Just okay. So what we do, we multiply them because we have 11 lots of them. Now when you multiply, I want this one to be a whole number, right? So do I move the decimal place 2 times to the right or only 1 time? Well, we want a whole number. All we gotta do is move it once to the right. We don't need 2 times. Because once you move it to the right, it's now 98. You don't need 980 to be a whole number, right? So all you gotta do now is just do 11 times 98. Okay, that'll be 98, magical 0, 98 again, add them up, you get 8. Actually, I'll put it down here. 8, 9 plus 8 is 17, carry the 1, this will be 10. So therefore, when you multiply these two, you shall get, actually I'll put up here now, 10, 7, 8. But because I moved decimal place to the right 1 time, I have to move decimal place back to the left 1 time, so now I'll be here. Okay. So now, let's just get rid of all this. Whoops. Okay, now we have to add these two up. So we're gonna get 107.8, and we're gonna add it to 35.7. I don't need to put a 0 there. It makes no difference. So 0.7 is fine. Add them up, get your answer. Question 2. It says the garden compost is sold in 4 different bag sizes, and it says which represents the best value. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna write it down here. 2 kilograms is for $3.42. You got 3,500 grams. And that is for $5.99. You got 6 kilograms, and that is for $10.29. And you have 10 kilograms for $17. Okay. So what I normally do is I would find the lowest common multiple of these and then try and make them all into the same kilograms. But it's a bit hard because this one here is 3.5 kilograms. Okay, actually let me just change it straight away so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna get rid of that and say that's the same as 3.5 kilograms. Okay, if you double that, you get 7. So now you have to find the lowest common multiple of 2, 7, 6, and 10. This one we don't need to worry about because anything divisible by 6 can be divided by 2. So really, this will be what? 420. 420 kilograms. Oof, okay, let's not do that. Let's just make it 1 kilogram. We're gonna do division, okay? So let's make it, instead of going up, we'll go down. We'll go down to 1, we're gonna make them all into 1 kilogram. So this one, I want 1 kilogram. Now 2 kilogram cost me $3.42. 1 kilogram must be half of that. Okay, so I'm gonna do 342 divided by 2. 3 divided by 2 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, take away, we get remainder 1, bring the 4 down. 14 divided by 2 would be 7. 2 times 7 is 14, take away, remainder 0, bring the 2 down, the last number there. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and the answer is, oh, and the decimal. Now, $3 divided by 2 should be $1.71. So this will make sense if it's only $1.71. Not $17.10, that will be ridiculous. Now for this one, I have to divide it by 3.5. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, let me see if I can make it easier. Okay, this one's a bit tricky. So 599, you're dividing it by 3.5. Let's put into a fraction. Sometimes it's easier to do as a fraction when you have numbers like this. Okay. Now I want the fraction to be whole numbers. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to double this. If I double this and double this, I will get 11.98 and I will get 7 straight away. I don't need to do all of that stuff, sorry. Wasted your time there. I just realized that now. Alright, so let's just do this one instead. This will be a lot easier to do. So I'll do 11.98 divided by 7. 11 divided by 7 would give me 1. 1 times 7 is 7. Take away, we get remainder 4. Bring the 9 down. 49 divided by 7 will give you 7. 7 times 7 is 49. Take away, get no remainder. Bring the 8 down. And 8 divided by 7 is also 1. 1 times 7 is 7. Take away. And remainder 1. Now there's more numbers actually, but they're all zeros, so if we want we can keep dividing, okay, but we know our answer is going to be $1.71. Okay, so, and let's I can bring the next number down just to see what happens. So 7, this will be 10 divided by 7 will be, let me rub this out. What's 10 divided by 7? That's 1 as well, isn't it? Okay, I can keep going, but there's no point at this stage because we already have the amount. This is $1.71 cents. Okay, so for this one, 1 kilogram would be $1.71. You can have another 1 there, but that rounds to 71 anyway. Okay, actually I'll put it in just to show you that this one is going to be more. This one is cheaper than this one, for example. Okay, you can compare it like that. What else? Actually, let me just make it look like it's better there. Okay. Now, if you're wondering how did I get 1 kilogram? Well, from 2 kilogram to 1 kilogram, I divided by 2, didn't I? Right. Now, for the 3.5 kilogram, if I want to go to 1 kilogram, I have to divide it by, well, 3.5 divided by 3.5, right? If I divide by 3.5, I'll get 1, isn't it? So that's how I got the 1 there. So all I did was took the 3.5 kilograms. Now if I divide, whoops. Why is it not turning into, here we go. If I divide this by 3.5, I must divide this one by 3.5 to get that number. That's the reason why we took 5.99 and divided by 3.5, and we play around with numbers, and eventually we got this thing here, which is $1.71 and 0.1 or something like that. Okay. Next one is we're going to divide this. We want to get from 6 kilograms down to 1 kilogram. So let me just rub all this out real quick. Okay. So if I want to go from 6 kilograms, I want to go to 1 kilogram. So I want 1 kilogram here. I have to divide by 6, which means I have to divide this number by 6 as well. So 10.29, let's divide it by 6. This will be 10 divided by 6 will be 1. 1 times 6 is 6. Take away, you get a 4. Bring a 2 down. 42 divided by 6 would be... wait, hold on. It's okay, so 42 divided by 6 will be 7. 6 times 7 is 42. Take away, no remainder. Bring the 9 down. Now 9 divided by 6 would give me a 1. 1 times 6 is 6. Take away, remainder 3. Now there's more numbers here, but they're all zeros. So if I bring one more number down at 30 divided by 6, I will get 30 by 6 will be 5. And that will be 6 times 5 is 30. No remainder, and we're done. So exactly, it will go exactly... Now remember that this is a 10. Whoops. This is a $10.29 divided by 6. So it should go into that. So there should be a decimal here. So we go into that 1.7 times. So 1.715, and that's the correct answer there. All right. For the last one, we want to go from 10 kilograms to 1 kilogram. So we divide it by 10, which means we have to divide this one also by 10. Okay. So that one's easy. Divide it by 10, and you just move decimal place to the left, one spot to the left, right? And you're gonna get $1.70. So which one's the cheapest? You can have a look at this one. For 1 kilogram, you can pay $1.71, or for 1 kilogram, you can pay $71.1, or and so on. So which one's the cheapest? Obviously, this one is the cheapest. So therefore, which one represents the best value? You can just say, you can just circle that if you want. That's the answer. Just circle that, and that's done. Okay. All right. I'm going to let's shrink this. There. Okay. Move on to the next question. Question 3. If 9 exercise books cost this much, what's the cost of 5 exercise books? So 9 exercise books cost you $12.33, and they want you to go to 5 exercise books. And what's the price there? Okay, but whoops. But to go from 9 to 5 is, pretty hard. So let's go from 9 to 1 first. It's easier. So let's go to 1 book. And to go from 9 to 1, we divide it by 9, which means we divide this also by 9. Okay, let's do that real quick. 12.33, let's divide it by 9. 12 divided by 9 will give you 1. 1 times 9 is 9. Take away, we get remainder 3. Bring the 3 down. 33 divided by 9 will give you 3. 3 times 9 is 27. Remainder 6. Okay. Bring the next 3 down and you get 63. 9 goes into 63 7 times, and then 9 times 7 is 63 with no remainder, and that's the answer. Now the decimal place should go here. Okay, how many 9s go into 12? This is roughly 12, right? It goes into that 1 point something times, so 1.3 times. So therefore, this will be 1.37 for 1 book. But I want 5 books. So to go from 1 book to 5 book, I must times it by 5, which means I must times this also by 5. Okay, so let's do that real quick. 5 times $1.37. Actually, you know what? I think you guys can do that by yourself, right? Not that hard. I'll leave that to you to do. Let's rub this out. Okay. So yeah, for this question, just do 5 times $1.37. You can work it out and get the answer there. Question 4 to 9. Find the missing number. 18 out of 60 is what? 18 out of 60 is what? Okay. So what percentage? What it means is 18 out of 60 looks like this. Now they want to turn this one in from a fraction to a percentage. Okay, so what we can do is, the first thing we should do is always simplify our fraction. So 18 out of 60, what can we divide the 18 and 60 by? We can divide them both by 6. Some of you might thinking 2 or 3, but if you divide by 6, it'll be even better. it'll be even, the number will be even smaller and be easier for us to do. Alright, so 18 divided by 6 will give you 3. 60 divided by 6 will give you 10. Okay, this is 3 out of 10. Now, to go from a fraction to a percentage, so this is a fraction. Okay, I want to go to percentage. How do I do that? Well, the best way to do it is to make the bottom number into 100. Okay, so I want to make this one into 100. How do I do that? I want to make this one into 100, and I have a top number as well. So to make the bottom number 100, I can only use multiply. I can't use add or subtract. Okay, we can only multiply or divide. So to get to 100, I must times it by 10, and obviously to get to 100, I must times it. I mean, what I do to the bottom must do the top. So that if I times the bottom by 10, the top must also be times it by 10. You get 30 over 100. Now this one, 30 over 100. Once you get the bottom number to 100, whatever the top one is, that's your percentage. So in this case, it's 30%. Okay, so there's your percentage, 30%. So what I mean by that is that anything over 100. So for example, I have a number. Let's say I have a number here like 32. This will be 32%. Or 48 over 100. Okay, 48%. See, the moment the bottom number is 100, we can figure out the percentage just looking at the top number. That's how you can do it fast. There's another way to do it, but I won't show you the other way yet until we encounter that problem. And the problem is sometimes the bottom number cannot turn to 100 easily. Okay, then we'll do a different way. But for now, if you can do it to 100, you should. Question 5. 48 is what percentage of 75? 48. So 48. Now, what I want you to do is this. I want you to understand how to do these questions. I'm going to circle this in blue so you can see. Whenever you see the word is and of, okay, you have to keep that in mind. So the word is now when it comes to a fraction, the word is always on top and the word of is always at the bottom. So 48 is, that means the is connected to the 48. So we put 48 on top. Of 75, the 75 is connected to the of, so therefore we put 75 on the bottom. And now it says what is the percentage? Okay, so we want to find the percentage. Again, we are going to get this number to 100. Okay, I want to make it into 100. But first thing we should do, obviously, is to simplify. 48 and 75 can both be divisible by 3. I can divide them both by 3. So I'm going to divide this one by 3. Let me just rub this out real quick. And divide this by 3. And I will get 48 divided by 3 will give me 16. 75 divided by 3 will give me 25. Okay. Now, I can now turn this number into 100 pretty easily. And I think you know how to do it too. Just times it by 4. So therefore, the top number, I must do the same thing, times it by 4. 16 times 4 would be 64 over 100. So obviously, now we know the percentage because it's over 100, right? That's your percentage right there. So therefore, the answer is 64%. Alright. Next one, again we have is and of. Let's see what is connected to and what of is connected to. Okay, so 65% of 400 is something here. Okay, so what that means is this. You have a fraction. Now remember, of goes to the bottom, of. And which one is of? Of, we got 400 there, right? So we put 400 down here. Is we don't have a number. We just have a blank box. So we don't know what the number is. So is, we don't know, it's a question mark. Okay. But we do know that this is your 62.5%. Okay, so it's equal to 62.5%. Now, not sure if you know this, but 62.5% seems very familiar. I think 1 over 8 is equal to, actually I'm pretty sure 1 over 8 is equal to 12.5%. Not many people remember this, but I remember this one, just this one. I don't remember the rest of them. Like I don't know what 3 over 8 is. I know what 2 over 8 is, obviously. That's just 1 over 4, which is 25%. Easy, right? So whenever you get the numbers, the fraction, try to simplify it. You might be able to figure out the percentage a lot easier. So, but I do know that 62.5 is possibly, it could be 5 on 8. It seems very familiar. Let me try it. So if 1 over 8 is this, then 5 over 8 is 5 lots of this, right? 5 times bigger, right? So let's do 5 times 12.5. 5 times 5 is 25, carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12, carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Oh, there we go. 5 over 8 is actually 62.5%. Interesting. Alright. In that case, I know that this is the same as 1 over 8, isn't it? So I could say this is the same as 1 over 8. That means there's a connection here. Look, this fraction is equal to this number, which equals to this fraction. Therefore, these fractions must be equal to each other, if that makes sense. So what we can do is we can say, something over 400 is the same as 1 over 8. That's what it is. Alright, let me just rub this out real quick. Okay, so how do I go from 400? Actually, you know what? Let's just go backwards. How do I go from 8 to 400? 8 times what gives me 400? 8 times, I know 8 times 5 gives me 40. If I want 400, that must mean 8 times 50 then, isn't it? That means to go from 8 to 400, I must multiply by 50. Which means I must multiply the top number by 50 to get this unknown thing there. Times both. So therefore, 1 times 50, and the answer is obviously 50. So therefore, that question mark must represent 50. Okay, so that question mark there must equal to 50, and there's your answer. So that's how you do it. Question 7. Dana's town consists of 1,500 houses, of which 786 are farmhouses. What is the percentage of farmhouses? So they want the percentage, and they want you to compare what's the percentage of farmhouses. That's what they want. Let me see. So that means they want you to do 786 over 1,500. Okay, and they want you to find the percentage there. Okay. Now this is not one of those questions where we use of and is. Okay, there's no it's pretty hard to see it here. You use of and is when you have questions like this. These questions. So don't think, oh, I see of farmhouses, therefore that one should be at the bottom. No, because what we're doing is we're comparing. We are comparing how many the percentage of this one compared to the farmhouse and see what percentage it is. Okay, so you have to put 786 on top and 1,500 at the bottom to see, because we're comparing that to the total. The total there are that many houses. That's the total. That's all their houses. So the bottom one is usually everything, and the top one is the percentage that we're trying to find is this one here. This is the one that we're comparing to. So we're comparing this number to this number, and we see what percentage. Okay, so the first thing I would do is I would try and make this one into 100. How do I make this to 100? Well, how about if I divide it by 100 first? Divide it by 100. No, let's not do that. I can divide it by, I don't know, 3, 5, 15. Well, if I divide it by 15, I will get this number here, but it's a bit hard to divide this by. Actually, let's give it no. Let's do it step by step. Okay, let's just divide it by 3 for now. I'll get it down to 500. Now, I think the top number can be divided by 3. Let me double check. 7 plus 8 is 15. Yeah, 21. Yeah, it should be divided by 3. So 786 divided by 3. 7 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Minus, you get a remainder 1. 18 divided by 3 will be 6. 3 times 6 is 18. No remainder. Bring the 6 down. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. So this will be 2, 6, 2. Okay. Now, let's see. I want this to be 100. So I've divided by 5 now. Divided by 5. So 2, 6, 2, I can divide it by 5, and let's see what happens. 26 divided by 5 is 5, 5 times 5 is 25. Take away, we get remainder 1, bring the 2 down. 12 divided by 5 will be 2, 2 times 5 is 10. Take away, you get 2. Okay, now let's put a decimal. The moment I put a decimal, I'm going to put a decimal here as well. Okay, and now I can bring all the zeros down. So bring the 0 down, you got 20 divided by 5 is 4. Okay, and 4 times 5 is 20. Take away, no remainder, nothing else to divide, and we're done. So therefore, if I divide it by 5, the bottom number, if I divide by 5, I'll get 100, because 500 divided by 5 is 100, which is what I want to get to. And my top number, when you divide that number by 5, divided by 5, you will get 52.4, and we're done. All right, so let's rub this out real quick. Okay, so what does that mean? What that means is you have, let me rewrite that again, 52.4 over 100. Now remember, when we have over 100, we can just get the percentage by looking at the top number. That means my percentage is 52.4%, and that is the answer. Okay, let's move on to the next page. Alright, next one says there are 42,000 light bulbs are made and tested in a factory. 294 were found broken. What percentage of the light bulbs were broken? So again, what they want is the percentage broken. So they want the broken, the percentage of the broken. Okay, so the way we do that is we have to put the broken, well, the one that we're trying to figure out the percentage of, comparing to the total. So this is the same question as previous one, except they have different numbers, and then we can get the percentage from doing that. That's how we do it. Okay, so the number broken is this one, so we put 294 over what's the total? The total is there's all the light bulbs, so we're comparing it to 42,000, and we're comparing it there. We see when we want to see what the percentage is. So to get percentage, I must turn this one to 100 if I can. I'll try. Obviously, it's not gonna be easy, right? First, I can, let me see, I can probably divide it. Let me see. How to divide this easily? I can do this actually pretty fast, but I'm trying to figure out how to explain this so you can do it fast too. Maybe I can. Maybe I can divide this by. Let me see. 2. Just divide by 2 first for now. See what happens. Just divide by 2. Okay. If you're not sure, you look at the numbers like, oh, I'm not sure what to divide by. Just divide by 2 because they're both even numbers. So this one will be 21,000. The top number would be what? Well, 294 divided by 2. This will be 1. This will be 2. Take away, you get no remainder. 9. Bring a 9 down. 9 divided by 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Take away, remainder 1. Bring the 4 down. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So this will be 147. Okay. Now, I think I'm starting to see something here. I can divide them both by 7. They're both divisible by 7. I'm pretty sure. Okay. So if you divide the bottom by 7, you will get 3,000. Now let's divide the top by 7. 147 divided by 7. 14 divided by 7 is 2. 2 times 7 is 14. And then what else we got? bring no remainder, bring the 7 down. 7 divided by 7 is 1, so this will be 21. Oh, okay, this is starting to look good. I can now divide them both by 3. I can divide them by 3. See? So when you get something like this crazy, right? Try and break it down. Try and divide it by numbers that you think can work, and then it should get the number smaller, which makes it a lot easier for you to do. Okay? So 21 divided by 3 will give you 7. The bottom number, oh, that's easy. 3,000 divided by 3 will be 1,000. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so I'm gonna write the answer over here. We got 7 over 1,000, which is that one there. Now remember, I'm trying to get my number, the bottom one, to 100. So how do I get 1,000 to 100? Easy, divided by 10. Okay, and then I'll do the same to the top, divided by 10, and I'll get 0.7. Okay, and there's my percentage. My percentage is whatever that is, because my bottom number is already 100. Once the bottom number is 100, the top is your percentage straight away. So the answer is 0.7%, and that's your answer. That was a long one, I think. I'm just gonna rub this out now. So the answer is 0.7%. I'm gonna rub this out and say, oh, okay, no. Let's move this over. Move it over here. Maybe shrink it a bit. Okay. And say that the answer was 0.7%. Alright, next one. Riverside Park is a field of 60 by 120 meters. If 65% of the field is grass, what is this area? Okay. So let's find the area first. We got 60 by 120. So imagine you have a rectangular prism there. Okay, and it's 120 by 60 meters. So the area, well, the area is just gonna be area equals to 60 times 120. Okay, so ignore the zeros. The fast way to do is what's 6 times 12? 6 times 12 would be 72, and now we add all the zeros back. How many zeros we got? We got 2 zeros. So, and there's your answer there in meters square. This is the area. This is the area of the whole Riverside Park field, but they only want 65% of it. So we have to find 65%. So what is this? This is all of it, right? All the area. So what does that mean? That means 100%, isn't it? So let's write the connection here. We know that 100% is connected to your 72,000. Now what we want to get to is 65%. So can we go from 165 easily? Of course not. So what we can do is maybe we can go to a number that we can multiply to 65. How about 5%? I can do that, right? So 100 down to 5%, I have to divide it by 20, which means I have to divide this one also by 20. You're wondering, okay, what's 7,200 divided by 20? Just put into a fraction, cross out the zeros. What's 72 divided by 2? That's 36. And you got 1 0 there, so 360. 360. So 5% is connected to 360. But I don't want 5%, I want 65%. So I have to multiply this one by 13. And you have to multiply that by 13 as well. So let's do that. 13 times 6. Actually, you know what? I will let you do that yourself. Yeah. So if you want to find what 65% is, just multiply those two numbers together. So you do 360, you multiply it by 13, and you will get your answer. Okay. I'll rub it out to give you some, yeah. Let's shrink this down as well. So you can fit that in there. It's a bit small. You can see it there. Okay, so if you multiply those, because we want 65%, that's why. So to go from 65%, you have to go from 5% all the way and times it by 13, you get 65% and you get the number here. So multiply 360 by 13 and you will get your answer. Question 10. A tank of oil can be empty in 16 minutes if one outlet valve is open. How long will it take to empty the tank if two outlets are fully opened? So 16 minutes. A tank of oil can be empty in 16 minutes if one open. If two opens, it'll be double. It'll be faster, right? It'll be half the time. So if it takes you 16 minutes, so this will be the time, and this will be the number of outlets. The outlet opened. Whoops. Yeah. Okay. So if one outlet is open, you got 16. If two outlets open, that means we double the outlet. We doubled it, didn't we? But remember, the more outlets are open, that means that the more water can flow out, and therefore it will empty quicker, not longer. So you can't double this. If you double this, it'll be 32 minutes. That makes no sense. Okay, how can it be longer? It's supposed to be shorter. So what we do is instead, we have to divide it by 2, and we get 8. Take you only 8 minutes. Okay, this is an example of something called inverse. Inverse proportion. Okay. So when you times it by whatever you times it by, you divide. You do reverse on this side. Let's do the reverse. It's like the men and days kind of question. It's like that. Next one is a truck can transport a supply of building materials in 4 hours, making 8 trips each hour. Wait, let me read that again. A truck can transport a supply of building materials in 4 hours, making 8 trips per hour. So 8 trips in 1 hour. So 1 hour, this will be hours. And this is the number of trips. 1 hour is 8 trips. And they do it in 4 hours. How long would it take? Would the job take if 4 trips were made each hour? Okay, so in 4 hours you should take, well, this one you times it by 4, and this one you times it by 4. You would take 32 trips. Now it says how long would the job take if 4 trips were made each hour? So instead of 8, you got 4 trips. Okay, so how do we write that? How many? So we need a total of 32 trips. 32 trips to complete the transportation. You have to do it 32 times. Okay. Now if each hour is 4 trips, so you divide 32. We divide it by 4. We get 8. That means you need. If you want to divide it by 2, you get 8 hours, which means you need 8 hours of total time. Okay, hope that makes sense, that one. Okay, next one. A housewife has sufficient charcoal to last 12 days. She used only 2 buckets of charcoal a day. Okay, so she so each day, so one day she's gonna use 2 buckets. Actually, yeah. Now she needs a total of 12 days. She can last 12 days, which means 12 times 2. So we times it by 12, and we times it by 12. We're gonna get how many? 24 buckets. That means she can last. She has 24 buckets altogether. Okay, and now it says, how long will the charcoal last if she used 3 buckets a day? So 24 we divided by 3, and we will get 8. She can last for 8 days. Okay, next page. Been giving too many answers away here. Okay, 64.5 divided by 5. I think you can do that one. Question next one is 4.59 divided by 3. I think you can do that one. So the answer is going to be 1 point something, okay? So don't, yeah. And this one is going to be, let me see, 12, 6, it'll be 1, 5 is 5, take away, you get 14 divided by 2. So it'll be 12 point something, that one. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you the rest of them. Next one is when you multiply a decimal with a decimal, all you got to do is this. You're going to turn a decimal into a whole number. So you're going to say that's going to be 4. That's going to be 7. 4 times 7 is 28. Alright, great. The answer is 28. But to turn a 4 into a 7, I must move decimal place to the right 1 time and a 7 to move decimal place 1 time. So I've made 2 movements. So I must move decimal place back twice. Here's the decimal place. It's always at the end. So let's put a couple of zeros in there. So move back twice. 1, 2. Okay, we move it back there. We don't need these 2 other zeros. So the answer is 0.28. Next one, you're going to add all the decimals up. So you're going to have 4.5 plus 2. Do I put the 2 here? Of course not. The 2 is a whole number. These are all the whole numbers. Okay, so therefore you have to put a 2 there. You can put a decimal 0 there if you want. Next one is we're going to have 0.33, and you add them up. Anything without numbers, you can just put a 0 there and add them up. Next one is we got 6.8, and we're subtracting 2.44. Is this how we subtract? No way, all right? Because the 2 is these are whole numbers. Okay, make sure that when you subtract or add, you have to make sure that all the decimals line up. Okay, so we'll put decimal here. So that means 2 goes here, and the 4 goes here, and the 4 goes there. This one doesn't have any value, just put a 0, and you do a subtraction. Get the answer there. Next one is we're adding fractions. So we want to make the bottom number the same when we add fractions, right? Or subtract fractions. So therefore, the lowest common multiple is 55. So I'm going to multiply this by 5, times this by 5, and times this by 11, times it by 11. So you get 30 over 55 plus 22 over 55. We'll get the answer there. You can do the same thing for this one. Make sure the bottom numbers are the same. Times it by 5, times it by 5, times it by 7, times it by 7, and do the same thing. Next one is you times it by 100. So what happens when you times a number by 100? Let's have a look. 34.5. We times it by 100. So we know when we multiply, the number is going to get bigger, and decimal place is going to jump to the right. So since it's jumping to the right, let's put a couple of zeros there. See where it lands, okay? So now it's going to be where? It's going to jump to the right. So 1, 2. The reason it jumps twice is because there are 2 zeros. So what's the answer going to be? Do we care about these zeros? So it's going to be 3, 4, 5, 0.00. Do we care about these zeros? No, we don't. Just rub them out. Alright, next one, it says increase 500 by 3%. So what does that mean? In the beginning, this is your 100%. And they want to increase it by 3%, add 3 more to it. So let's make the connection. We have to make the relationship that 500 is your 100%. Now we want to get to 3%, right? 3% here. But obviously we can't go from 100 to 3 straight away. We can go from 100 down to maybe 1%. And then I can go from 1 to 3 easily. Okay, 1 to 3. So to go from 100 down to 1, we just divide it by 100. And then to go from 1 to 3, I just times it by 3. So I do the same thing here. I'm going to divide this by 100. And then I'm going to times it by 3. 500 divided by 100 will give me 5. And then 5 times 3 will give me 15. So therefore, 3% is 15. So this amount is equal to 15. And they want to increase 500 by 15. Increase means plus. So what that means is 500 increase by 3%. But we're not going to write 3% because we're going to write the actual value, which is 15. Okay? Obviously, that's going to be 515 and you're done. Find the amount if 25% is 20. So what does that mean? So there's a connection already. In the question, they gave you the connection between the percentage and the value. So that means 25% is your $20. And it says find the amount. What does that mean? That means find the whole amount. 25% is only a part of the amount, right? They want you to find the whole amount. They want you to find 100%. If I said the whole amount or all of the amount, it means 100%. So the question is how to go from there to there. Okay, we just times it by 4. And obviously we times it by 4, which you can get the answer to that one. So easy, right? Okay, moving on. How many years in 3 scores and 5 years? Now remember that 1 score is equal to 20 years. So how many years is that altogether? You can work it out. Change 68% into a simple fraction. So we want to change percentage to fraction. Now remember, percentage is the way we turn into a fraction, we put that over 100. That's all we gotta do. We turn it back into a fraction. And then they want a simple fraction. So this answer is not correct until you simplify it. So what can we do? Well, I don't know, 68%. 68 is what can we divide it by? I don't know. Let's just divide it by 2. If you're not sure, divide it by 2. Okay, because they're both even numbers. If they're even numbers, divide by 2. If they're odd numbers, don't divide by 2. All right. Anyway, divide by 2, you get 34 over 50. But then, hey, I can divide that by 2 again. So let's keep dividing it by 2 until we get the smallest number. Divided by 2, you get 17 over 25, and there's your answer. You can't go any further. 17 is a prime number, so you can't divide it by anything besides 17 and 1. Anyway, change 4 over 9 to the nearest percentage. We know that 1 over 9 is equal to 0.11111, forever repeating. 2 over 9 is equal to obviously 0.22222, forever repeating. So therefore 4 over 9 must equal to 0.4444 forever repeating. Now this is a decimal, not the answer. What I want to do is turn a decimal into a percentage. So I'm just going to rub this out. So therefore 0.4444. I can just keep writing 4, but I'm just going to stop there for now. To turn it into a percentage, all you got to do is times this number by 100. Times it by 100. Okay. If you times it by 100, what happened to decimal place? It moves to the right how many times? Twice. 1, 2. So now the value becomes 44.44%, or forever repeating percent. Okay. But it says to the nearest percentage. So what is that? Is it nearest to 44 or 45? And obviously 44.4 is nearest to 44%. And that's the answer. This is the answer there. Alright, next one is you have a fraction, question 40. So 2 and 6 on 11 plus 2 over 9, okay, so what I'm going to do is you can turn this one into improper fraction. 2 times 11 is 22, 22 plus 6 is 28 over 11, and you're going to plus with 2 over 9, okay. Now the lowest common multiple of the bottom number is going to be 99. So I guess we want to make it the same bottom number, so we times this one by 9, times it by 9, times this one by 11, times it by 11. Okay, so you get 99, the bottom number. Great, we made it the same. Awesome. Now the top number, 2 times 11 is 22. 9 times 28, 9 times 8 is 72. Carry the 7 over. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 plus 7 is 25. So this will be 252. And we're adding. So the bottom number becomes 99, the top number becomes 274. And now we say, how many 99 goes to 274? I believe it can't be 3, so I think it's 2. So you could say the answer is 2. What's 2 times 99? Let's have a look. 2 times 99 will be 18, carry the 198. So you have a remainder of 76 over 99. Okay, so it takes a while, but it can be done. Just annoying because of the question. Anywho, let's move on to the next question. Question 15. We're multiplying. Okay, so we have a mixed numeral, so we change it to improper. So 1 times 4 is 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 over 4. Now we times it by 2 over 7. Now before we multiply the answer, you gotta think to yourself, I'm multiplying this, so therefore I can simplify this, right? Which one can be simplified? Well, 7 and 7 can be divided. They can both be divided by 7, they turn into a 1. 2 and 4, I can divide them both by 2. So this one divided by 2, we get 1, divided by 2, we get 2. So now you have 1 times 1, which is 1. 2 times 1, which is 2. And the answer is a half, and you're done. Okay, next one. Alright, same thing, we're going to change the improper fraction. We get 4 times 3 is 12, 12 plus 2 is 14 over 3. and we're dividing it by 2 over 5. So when we're dividing fraction, hopefully you remember the method by now, is we keep the first number the same, that one stay the same, 14 on 3. And we change the second number upside down, so we have 5 over 2. And we change the divide into a times. So now, oh, hold on, we're multiplying again now, right? So therefore we can simplify. Whenever we multiply, we simplify. So 14 and 2 can be divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 14 divided by 2 is 7. And that's the best we can do. So now we do 7 times 5, and that's equal to 35. And 3 times 1 will give you 3. Okay, this is an improper fraction. Let's change it to mixed numeral as our answer. How many 3's go into 35? That's 11. Remainder 2 over 3, and there's your answer. Alright. Next one is you're taking this number and you're dividing it by 10. Whenever we divide it by 10, we look, or numbers with 0, for example, 10, 100, 1,000, whatever. Okay, all we gotta do is look at how many zeros it's got. It's got 1 0, and we're dividing. So dividing means we're jumping decimal to the left. 1 0 means jumping only one space to the left. So therefore, it's gonna jump over here. And now it's gonna be, the answer is gonna be 8.94. And there's your answer. Alright, next page. Last page. Alright, quick question. Now what we do is they want you to turn this one into an improper fraction. What's the top number? I think you can work it out. Next one is they want to multiply this fraction with this whole number. Now since that's a whole number, what we can do is we can write like this. 7 over 8 times it by 24, but 24 is a whole number, so it must be over 1. Alright, well, did you notice that 8 and 24 can be simplified? We can divide them both by, some people might say 2, some people might say 4, they're both true, but the better number would be 8. We can divide them both by 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So now we have this. What is 7 times 3? That's equal to 21. And what is 1 times 1? And that's equal to 1. But 21 over 1 is obviously a whole number, so that's just 21. Okay. You can do that yourself. This one, question 4. Okay. You don't have to change it into what we call it. Actually, you kind of do. That's annoying. Alright, fine, I'll do it. Change it into mixed numeral. I would like to do it the other way, but not a lot of people understand the second method I do, so we'll do this way. 6 times 8 is 48. 48 plus 3. 48 plus 3 is 51, and that's over 8. So this fraction, oops. So this fraction has transformed into this. This is improper now, and now this fraction, mixed numeral, sorry, is going to transform as well. It's going to change to improper. Now we have a minus in the middle. 4 times 8 is 32. 32 plus 7 is 39 over 8. Okay, since they both have the same bottom number, we can keep it as 8. 51 minus 39 would be, let me see, 1 to 40, 10, 11, 12. 12. So therefore we have 12 and 8. Now we can simplify this, right? We can divide them both by 4. So divide this one by 4. Divide this one by 4. And what do we get? We get 3 on 2. Now this is still a mixed improper fraction. Let's change it to mixed numeral. How many 2's go into 3? 1. What's the remainder? 1 over 2, and you're done. There you go. Whoops. What is that? Okay, next one is 42 times it by what gives me 7. Okay, so let's see. 42 is a whole number, so that's over 1. So therefore you have 42 over 1 times it by 1 over something. Alright, let's just multiply it across. Okay, so 42 times 1 is 42. 1 times something is just something, and that's equal to 7. So now remember, a fraction is another way to say division. So what does this mean? This means 42 divided by something is equal to 7. Oh, oops. Divided by... Whoop. 42 divided by something is equal to 7. I hope you know your times tables, because that's your answer there, if you can figure out what that is. Next one, question 6. Now 10 squared means 10 times 10. That means 100. 10 times 10 is 100. So 100 times 25, you can figure that out, easy. Next one, we're doing bond maths. So you gotta do the brackets first. Okay, that's gonna give you, let me just change the rubber. That's gonna give you 130, and then you're gonna plus with 120. So get the answer there. Next one is do a subtraction. So you're gonna do 1000 minus 472.85. Obviously there's a decimal there, and obviously if there's nothing there, put a 0. Now you can subtract it easily. Now next one says how many 9s are in 189. We'll just do division. 189 just divided by 9 and get the answer. Next one says a farmer bought 1,000 sheep at $15.50 a head, and later was forced to sell them for $11.75 a head. How much did he lose on the deal? Okay, so what we got to do is we got to find the total price total money this is how much he paid altogether. Okay, so what you would do is you would do 1,000 times 1550. Don't get the answer, just watch. I'll show you a quick way to do this. So just leave that there for now, and then once we have the answer for that, put in brackets to say that we had to do that first. Then I'm going to find the total of how much he sold it for. He sold it for $11.75 each. He sold all of them, so he sold all 1,000 sheeps. Okay, so let's do that. So this will be the total price of how much money he spent and how much he received after selling it. So how do we get how much did he lose? Okay, we can find out how much he lost if we take the spend minus the receive and how much money he lost. Sometimes he gain money, sometimes he lose money. Depends on if the number here is a negative or positive number. So let's have a look. So instead of doing it this way, instead of multiplying it out and taking the answer of that minus that, okay, you don't minus it. What you can do is you might realize that, hey, this is quick method, isn't it? You got two numbers. You have to multiply this number by 1,000 by that and 1,000 by that, and they're both the same 1,000. So this is a quick method. We can just take $15.50, take away $11.75, and then once we've done that, we can times it by 1,000. That's a quick method. We've been doing that. So let's just do this with the easier way. Let's do this way then. Let's do 15.50 take away 11.75. All right, now we gotta let me just rewrite this a bit better. This is a 5. So let's I want to do 0 take away 5. I cannot, so I borrow. I put a 4 here. I put 10 here. 10 take away 5 is 5. Now I do 4 take away 7. I cannot, so I borrow from this one, and I get this becomes a 4. This becomes a 14. 14 take away 7 is 7. 4 take away 1 is 3, and 1 take away 1 is nothing. So therefore, it's going to be $3.75. So $3.75 times it by 1,000 now. Okay, so let's see. It will be what? Times it by 1,000. So what does that mean? That means we move decimal place 2 spaces to the 3 spaces to the right. So 1, 2. Let's put another 0 here. 3. So therefore, the answer would be 3750. This is how much now. Let me see. Yeah, so that means that he's gonna 37503 750. Okay, so $3,750. Did he gain money or lose money? Well, he bought it at a higher price and sold it at a lower price. That means he lost money. That's just, yeah, so lost money. So he lost $3,750 in total. All right, next one. 5 on 8 of, that one. Of means times. So 5 on 8 times 48. Since 48 is a whole number, it must be over 1. Now, when we multiply, we can simplify. I can look at the 48 and 8 and I can divide them both by 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 48 divided by 8 is 6. 6 times 8 is 48. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is multiply it. We got 5 times 6 on the top is 30. 1 times 1 at the bottom is 1. This is a whole number, so the answer is 30. How many 25 cents in here? Divide it. Change this one to cents first, it'll be easier. So that one will be 175 cents divided by 25. Actually, 25 cents. I think you can work it out. If you're not sure, I'll write that down here. 25 cents. That's 1. 2 will be 50 cents. 3 will be 75 cents. 4 will be 100 cents. 5 will be 125. 6 will be 150. 7 will be 175. So therefore, how many 25 cents? You can get 7 of them. 99 pencils at 60 cents each. So all you do is do 99 times it by 60. Work it out yourself, that one. In the triangle, okay, here's your triangle. There we go. A, B, C. In your triangle ABC, angle ABC is 36. So angle ABC, this angle here is 36. So this is 36. Angle ACB, that angle there. So that's 178. They say, what is the last angle? What is BCA? What's that angle there? Sorry, BAC. So BAC, what is this angle there? Now we know that 36 plus 78 plus the mystery angle, all three angles in a triangle always add up to 180. So let's add these first. What is this? Plus 36, so you get 14, carry the 1, 114. So now you have 114 plus something is equal to 180. I think you can work that one out, right? I'll let you work it out. Question 9. Oh, sorry, question 15. The value of 9 in here is 100th value. How many centimeters cube blocks will fit into a 5 centimeter long? Okay, so what we can do is, I'm just going to quickly draw that one. It's 5 centimeters long, 47 centimeters wide. So let's just do 47 wide, 5 long, and 2.5 centimeters high, deep and high, same thing. All right. Now it says, how many centimeter cube is this? So, well, these are all centimeters, right? This is centimeters. This is centimeters, and this is centimeters. So it's, for what they're really asking for is what's the volume of this rectangular prism. So you want to find the volume, multiply all the numbers together. Multiply together. Well, I'll let you do that yourself actually. Question 17. Write as a decimal the sum of okay. So 5 on 10 is 0.5. 6 on 100. How do I know? Oh, by the way, how did I know it was 0.5? What's 5 on 10 mean? This is a fraction, right? A fraction is another way of saying division. 5 divided by 10. What's 5 divided by 10? Well, here's your 5. Here's a decimal. When you divide by 10, it jumps to the left. Therefore, it's 0.5. Okay. Now this one, another fraction means another division. So that means 6 divided by 100. How do you divide by 6 by 100? Here's your 6. Put a decimal there. We're divided by 100. So that means we're going to move decimal place 2 spaces to the left. 1, 2. Therefore, it's 0.06. Alright, so this one is equal to 0.06. And they have a 4. So they want a sum of all of them. So add them up. You got 4.00. Then you got 0.5. Then you got 0.06. Add them up. Anything without a number, put a 0 in it. And you can get the answer yourself. Question 18. Trees alongside a highway are spaced at a distance of 10 meters apart. Okay. What is distance between 10? What is distance between the 10 trees? Okay. So what is happening is this. You got a bunch of trees lined up on a highway. So let me just do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, you got 10 trees. Now they're spaced 10 meters apart. So what does that mean? So between this first tree and the second tree is 10 meters there. 10 meters there. 10 meters there. There are 10 meters apart. Now you might be thinking, oh, that's easy. I'll just do 10 times 10, which is 100, and then you get the wrong answer. And the reason you get the wrong answer is because what you need to realize is that if there are 10 trees, let me write it down. Oh. If there are 10 trees or poles or whatever they choose to call it, there are 9 gaps. So the distance between all of those gaps add together is you do 9 times the distance between each gap is 10 meters, right? 9 times 10 meters. And that's equal to 90 meters. If you don't believe me, you can look at it here. You got 10 trees. Here's your 10 trees. These are all trees, right? Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 10 trees. And then there are 9 gaps. You got, I'll circle them for you. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 gaps. And the total distance between all the trees is, distance between that and that is you do 9 gaps, the gaps times the gap distance, which is 10 meters. So you times it get 90 meters. Okay. Next one says, how fast is a car traveling if it travels 12 kilometers in 10 minutes? So what they're asking is to find the speed of the car. They want to find the speed. How fast? That means the speed. So we know that so this is kilometers, and this is in this is time, I guess you can say that, and then this is 10 minutes. Speed is usually written as a something kilometers per hour, right? We want per hour, so we need to get to 1 hour. How do we go from 10 minutes to 1 hour? We times it by 6, because there's 60 minutes in an hour, right? So if you times it by 6, you will get 1 hour. So what do you do to this one? Obviously, you times it by 6. 6 times 12. 6 times 12 will be 72. So therefore, the answer is 72 kilometers an hour. Okay. Next question, last one, says Belinda receives 85% for her spelling test. If the test was made up of 20 words, how many words did Belinda spell? So there are 20 words. 20 words. Okay, so the one she got correct, she received marks for is 80. She got 85% correct, which means she got 15% incorrect. So that's what's happening. Oh. Okay, my spelling's not 100% there, but yeah. All right. How many words did she spell? Did Belinda misspell? Misspell. That means the one she got wrong, incorrect. So she spelled 85 correct. That means she got 15% incorrect. So what we got to do is we got to find 15% of our 20. So your 20 is, there are 20 words. That's all the words. All right. So that's your 100%. And we want to know how much to get to 15%. So how many words did is 15%? So to go from 100 to 15, obviously not a good idea. Let's go 100 down to a number like 5%, because I can go from 5 to 15 easily. So to go from 100 to 5, I divide it by 20. And to go from 5 to 15, I times it by 3. So I think I'm going to divide this one by 20. Obviously 20 divided by 20 is 1. And then times it by 3, just like the other side, I'll get 3 words. Therefore, 15% is 3. So therefore, since she got 15% incorrect, so that means she got 3 words incorrect. And the answer is 3. All right, I hope that helps.